Hey everybody, welcome back to Double D Vintage Baseball Cards. My name is Dylan. I got a fun episode for you guys tonight. I'm going to share some insanely rare pickups of two of the players that I collect, two of my favorite players that I collect. I'm going to share gifts that I got from people. Awesome, incredible gifts. So I'm going old school. I got an adult beverage. And I'm just going to share some baseball cards and talk about my experience at the National as well as whatever I have in these boxes in front of me. So, without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So, I got some insane gifts. So, I talked about when I landed, I went over to Scott Ranger Studios' house, and his wife and their son were at the house, and I got a grand tour of their magical kingdom. It was an incredible house filled with joy, and their house reminded me a lot of like a dream house I would have liked to have grown up in. It also reminded me of this room you're standing in here. It was like a magical kingdom. Well, I talked to his son and I saw his collection of Pokemon cards, and he knows I'm a surfer. I'm not going to mention his name, but he gave me an epic gift, and it's also a combo gift from Lou Rock because I got one of his slabs. And this is a surfing Pikachu. And I got the Lou Rock TV. Shout out to my boy Lou. Check out his channel. I'll tag him. You guys gotta watch Lou Rock. It's fired up looking at baseball cards. Love the guy. Gave me one of his slab sleeves, or labels, I should say. And I was about to say his name, but I'll call you Mo. Mo, this was an incredible gift that meant so much to me. This Pikachu surfing, just awesome. And I will keep this in my collection forever. And I'm not sure I'm going to keep it in Lou Rock's thing. I haven't planned that out yet, but I thought in the meantime, so I don't lose both gifts. Man, I just love it. So thank you, Mo, for that awesome gift. Really meant the world to me. I got another gift here. Two gifts from Joe for soft corners, although I see his corners getting less and less soft and a little sharper, and his cards getting a little more centered over the last couple years that I've gotten to know him. Maybe I influenced him, maybe I didn't, but he sent me two cards off of his wall. Now I know they're off his wall because I asked for one prior. I have his Willie Mays on my wall right now, the catch, and these are pinhole cards. This is Ernie Banks, Baseball Thrills, and the Duke Snyder. And I have seen these on his channel on the back of his board, and he showed up with these intentionally to gift them to me. And dude, I can't thank you enough. I will treasure these forever. I do not own either of these cards in any way, shape, or form. And the only Baseball Thrills I own now are the ones pinned to my wall, and they're all yours, Joe. And the one reminds me of you and my dad, who's still around. But not to tell that whole story, but these three cards, the two you gave me, just so stoked. Thank you. Can't thank you enough. Joe, it was finally awesome to meet you too. And I saw you the first day you were with somebody, but I didn't recognize you. And then you walked over closer. I go, oh my God, that's Joe. No way, that's sick. So it's funny when you see people in the flesh. Sometimes they look different, sometimes they look the same. Yeah, he just looked different to me in that moment, and I didn't recognize him. I forgot who he was with. Maybe Mike, Scoots Collectibles. Really, shout out to Mike. Nice to meet you too. I don't know if you guys were together or man, but anyways, thank you so much, Joe. Check his channel out. I'll tag him. This next gift here is just ridiculous. Now, I'm going to share all these cards. Not all these cards, but a lot of these cards up close and personal, as I really love to do. And you guys know why I love condition of cards. I love looking at cards up close. And this one I will be sharing up close and personal in a future video. But this card in particular was a gift from my hobby hero. Like if there's a guy that I would put on this, like, he has a similar collecting mind as me, or like similar story as me. I guess we collect differently, but yet the same in so many ways. But our stories about collecting by ourselves and just loving baseball cards this whole time. John Mangini showed up to the National and gifted me this insanely iconic rookie card. And I've never had this card. I've always wanted this card. It's going on my wall after this show. It's another reason I'm really glad to do this episode finally. I'm going to put it right here. I have a row right here of rookies. I'm going to replace one of these rookies and put this one up. And that is the 1973 Topps Mike Schmidt. The most expensive baseball card I have ever been given in my entire life. And this is an absolute stunner of a baseball card. Let alone being an iconic rookie card. Mike Schmidt, arguably the greatest third baseman of all time. And if you look at this slab, this serial number is one of those magical serial numbers that a friend of ours in the hobby, Blix Cards, Ben, man, I hope I got his channel right. I will tag him. He found out over the years of collecting that there's a serial number on PSA that they graded extremely hard. And that's in the 2000s to, I think, the early 3000s, I think he said. But when he emailed me and told me this, I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't really respond, but I looked through all my cards like, holy smokes. I have a ton from the 2000 era, whatever, the 2 millions or whatever the 2 is at the beginning. And all of mine look incredible. But with that said, all of mine look really good. Not tooting my own horn, but I've spent a lot of time hunting for these cards. They all look really good, and they're all different serial numbers, but I have a ton originals that I kept with those 2s, and I've bought cards, not thinking about it. This card falls into that category, and this thing is insane. This is from John Mangini's personal collection, and now I have it in mine. It just gets me emotional when I hold this card. The meaning of this card to me in my collection from John, me coming on YouTube 3 years ago, watching John's videos, getting to know him, and then becoming friends with him last year at the National, hanging out with him for the first time. It was like meeting a mega star. Like, it was better than meeting a super famous. It was better than meeting Brad Pitt or Tom Hanks or whoever you want to meet, or any athlete. Meeting John Mangini, a man after my own heart, like literally a brother from another time and another place. We have so much similarity in the way we collect and the way we think about cards and how much we love cards. All cards. We don't even have to care about the sport. We just love the cards. To have this, I've seen John share this card on his channel many times before he gifted this to me. I would love to tell the story of how I came about this as he gifted it to me at the National, but I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming. I didn't expect or want it to come because of how he gifted it to me, but it's freaking hilarious. But he gifted it to me, and it was just outside the restaurant, I believe. We were eating burgers. Oh my gosh, I'm so stoked. And it means even more that Lou Rock was looking for this baby. I was looking for this at the National too. Well, before I got it, I would have been looking for it. So thank you, John. Means the world to me. I'm treasuring this. Beautiful example. Absolutely stunning. Unbelievable. Never leave my collection until I'm dead. Gone. All right, now we're going to get into some pickups and another insane gift. First, I'm going to have a sip of this adult beverage. So, as I'm hunting for cards, just making sure I'm filming, the very first card I purchased of the whole National is probably about an hour in, 2 hours in. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think somewhere in that range. But I was looking for anything. Okay, I had a goal in mind, which I've shared, the 35 Gaudi 4-in-1. But if you were with me and you followed me around, I was looking for anything that had good eye appeal on like a giant list in my brain. Lou Gehrig's, I was picking up every single Gaudi Lou Gehrig. I was picking up every single copy of, if there's a stack of cards of anything. I'm talking tops. I'm talking anything in my brain. And the first card that struck my brain properly, I was grabbing every single stack of 1951 tops, ungraded, graded. Every stack I saw at the National, I picked up and went through. This is the only one I grabbed. Only one I bought because the only one that I thought fit my eye and also was close on the price right out of the gates. He wanted $10 and I bought this for $8. I said, oh, I'll give you $8. It's in a stack. Grabbed it, looked at it. Luke Easter rookie card, 1951 tops. My first pickup of the National. Let me see if I can lower that a little. There we go. Look at that gem. This thing came back from the graders at a 5 EX. Beautiful example of a 51 tops card. And I kid you not, I looked at every single one of them at the show. There were others that were nice, but I didn't need them, didn't want them. Only certain ones that hit me that I really want from this set. And I have two on the wall right now. Oh, you can see them. Top right corner up here. I have Warren Spahn in a PSA 8. Had that forever. And Yogi Berra in a 4. Card number 1. And I have an unopened pack. And I also have another one that I should share with this. If I was smart, I would have had it out because I bought it. I bought it like the day before I left on eBay and it got shipped to my house. But I'll show that up close when I show this again. So first purchase was an $8 ungraded card. I didn't buy a card after this until the second day, end of the second day. So basically 14 hours looking at cards and I found one. I'm picky. I don't want to build a collection that I can't control. My whole desire is to have an absolutely stunning collection of cards. Every card you look at on my wall, I want you to want. I want me to want. I want to look at and be like, man, that is a nice example. Whatever the grade. I don't even care. Even some, I have a couple that are off-centered. Just a couple that are off-centered. That, a couple here that I'm not going to sell. And I came to that conclusion because they still look, man, I want that card. They look spectacular. That's what I'm going for. So when I go to the National, it's not easy to find cards that do that to my brain. And I was open-minded and went for anything. But what I did find was some insanely rare. Now I have a bunch of cards in here. Not that I bought, I was going to show together. These ones have all purchased. Okay, so these are my purchases from the National. Last year at the National, I shared this. Now, I also, man, I got, this is a really special. So, Robert, hold on, let me look for, 1 second. Man, I was going to share his business card on here. Robert at Prestige Collectibles. Could be Prestige Auctions. Okay, well, I'm going to share it in an up-close personal. I'm going to tag him, okay? The cards you're going to see are all Japanese cards. They're all extremely rare. Absolutely mind-blowing that you can buy these cards. To me, I almost feel dumb buying anything else other than Sadahara O and Shigeo Nagashima. I almost feel like, what am I doing wasting my money on anything other than these two players? These two guys are the Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig of Japanese baseball. In Japan, baseball is the most popular sport, bar none, by far. High school games, there's a competition they do over there. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people fill these stadiums day after day for high school games. It is a giant sport there. What they go through, I mean, pitchers like Daisuke, he pitched hundreds and hundreds of pitches every game in high school, in professional ball, all the way up through. Japanese baseball is giant in Japan. Card collecting, probably not so much, at least for the baseball stuff, because the stuff that I picked up is extremely rare. And it's not because, there's 100 in somebody's basement somewhere. No, and there might be some. But I did a little research on some of the cards that I'm going to share. So without further ado, Robert, I went to your booth when I first got there, and I bought some incredible cards. And I could have spent all my money, and I didn't. I spent about $1,000 with you, I think, on the whole trip. And I bought part of the cards in the beginning. Then I came back at the very end after 2 days of not buying anything. Literally not a single card. The last 2 days I didn't buy a single card until I went back to Robert's booth, and he goes, "Dylan, I got the card for you. I found it." He found 1961 JGA 21 Shonen Magazine Shigeo Nagashima playing cards, King of Spades, in a PSA 2. He had this for me because last year I picked up the O copy. I think there's only 2 O's ever graded. One's mine. And I think there's 4 Shigeos. And I'll tell you this, and it's not because I've read a bunch of books. No, I haven't read any books on these guys. The only way I came across them is through random mentions of Sadahara O in books of the Yankees and all their travels over the last, 15 years since I've been reading books. But Shigeo is a new collection of mine over the last year because I wanted to find some more cards, but some less expensive. But come to find out, Shigeo is much more famous because he was born in Japan, where I believe Sadahara O was born in China. Still Japanese. I think he lived in Japan later, of course. I don't know that for a fact either. But what I do know is these two are the 2 greatest baseball players ever over there. And Shigeo is the most famous baseball player on the planet in Japan. Or in Japan on the planet. Does that make sense? So I got this last year. And then I got this year. And look at the serial numbers. 452453. These were meant to find me. It blew my freaking mind. Now I'm going to blow your mind even more. I love playing cards of baseball players. Sadahara O with the king of home runs. Absolutely insane. Yeah, he's the king as well. They're both the king. They won, I think, 9 World Series together as a pair. Home run champion, more home runs than Babe Ruth. Shigeo, just look up their stats. Incredible. And I'll dive deeper when I show these up close. But what I got from Robert in the mail just an hour ago on the way home from Home Depot. When I got home, I told myself, you need to just buy Sadahara O and Shigeo cards. Like, why are you buying any other cards? To me, I look at these cards and I get the most pleasure out of these cards. Like the O card that has been on my wall all year. I've looked at this probably more than every single card on that entire wall. I love it. I've shared this more than every card. And the price I paid for these cards is pennies on the dollar compared to a Ty Cobb or a Babe Ruth or Eddie Matthews or anyone you name in the 60s and in rare form. Like, these cards are not crazy expensive. What Robert sent me as a gift from a card I bought right when I got off the Nationals. So I was literally like, why am I buying anything else? So I went on Robert's site, Prestige Auctions, and then I went on the eBay store and I found some things. I'm like, okay, I want to buy these two. What can you do? And he had a card for me that he couldn't find at the National, or I forgot to ask for it, but he had one. He sent me 2 gifts, but this is one of them. This is the box that these cards came in, because these were a playing card set. So this is a set of playing cards. These fit right inside there. This is like full-blown Mangini love right here. John, eat your heart out. You would freaking love these. Probably should have taken it out of the wrapper so you guys see it better. But I'm going to show these up close and personal and take them out at a future date. Is that not insane? I think I'm going to display it like this. It's freaking sick. I would have spent like $300 on this not knowing what it cost. So Robert, as a gift, this absolutely was the coolest thing ever. I mean, you have my trust and business forever. Robert was so cool. First time I met him at the National, hey Dylan, he like yelled at me when I was walking by. I don't know what any of these cards are worth. I don't know anything about most of these cards. I'm still learning. I barely researched when I bought the ones last year. I don't know a lot about the cards. When I look at cards at his table, I hand him a stack. I love these cards. How much? He gives me a price. I say, deal, done. I trust him. He's been fair. I've loved every pickup I've got from him. I can't thank you enough for this incredible gift. So with that gift, he sent me another gift and a card that I purchased from Robert. So I had to get this one, 1968 JGA 152 playing card set, Sadahara O, Shonen Book, Trump. I'm not sure what that means. I don't care at the moment, but these are rare as well. There's more of these graded, maybe like 9, but picker Jim was with me, and I saw these instantly. I go, okay, well, I want one. He had 2. And Jim's like, well, just choose which one you want, and I'll take the other. So I grabbed this one, a 2, and his is a 2.5, I think. Instantly, I knew this is the one I wanted, and I am obsessed with this card because obviously it matches my last year's purchase. And then I either asked there or asked later, and Robert had this one ungraded, and he was going to send it off to get graded. Shigeo Nagashima. I hope I'm saying his name right. I think Mangini told me how to say his name, but I don't want to blame Mangini if I'm saying it wrong. For Shigeo. So I'll call him Shigeo. But look at those together. I just got this in the mail today. Purchased this from him, and that's when he sent the gifts. And I'm going to show you guys a gift that is absolutely going to blow your freaking mind. So I haven't even made a label for this, and I will. I'm not going to send it to PSA. I know it's legit. Got the other one right here. Coolest cards in my collection. These 3 pairs now with this incredible gift. The box that these came in. Now, I'm going to ask Robert. He doesn't even know I'm sharing these. I literally got these an hour ago in the mail. I'm going to ask him if these actual cards came in this box. It very well could have. He came across the box. He says he never comes across these cards. So for him to come across these types of cards is rare. There's not very many. And to have the box these cards came in, it baffles my brain. Eat your heart out, John. Again, without even trying, without even realizing that I love to collect the boxes to go with the cards, I am obsessed, and I'll probably display this like this. This is probably how I will display them. I can't display it backwards, but it's just incredible. So Robert, I can't even begin to thank you for those gifts. Absolutely insane. Even my wife was like, what? Those are so cool. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a few other pickups from Robert, from the National. And like I said, this stuff's just rare, like insane. Next set I'm going to share is 1968 Jintan Gum And I got a Sadahara O, and I got a Shigeo Nagishima. God, I probably said that wrong. Absolutely insane. And these are plain cards as well, but I don't believe these came in a set. But I'm not 100% sure. But I know they're extremely rare, and I'm going to read you guys something. Now, I think even Robert told me he had never had these before. He never come across them, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe that was another set that I had in my hand. Absolutely incredible. 1968 Jinton gum. It's a company. They did gum. They had candy. They had, I think, even medical stuff, medicine, I think, as well. That's the company that produced these. And let me read a little bit. So I'm like, well, I got to figure out what these are about. So I just Googled, and this is an article that came up. It's an older article, but the 1968 Jintan Gum Giants Trump set, JGA 137, is a very rare set. When I say very rare, what I mean is that Angle gives it a scarcity factor of R5. I don't know who Angle is. I don't know any of that, but somebody will, not me. Which means that there are only 3 or fewer known copies of most cards in the set. In fact, this particular set is so rare that Angle mentioned that only one complete set has been seen of it. So that is an article about these cards right here. And these, they weren't cheap cards, but like I said, I bought all my cards from Robert. He gave me a fair price, and I spent about, I think it was $1,000, give or take 100. And I'm not sharing all the cards I got from him in this video. Just want to share a few. But I will share 2 more. And this one is just sick. I mean, they're all sick, but on its own. I love the Manko cards. Now, I believe Manko was a game. Now, I haven't done research on that yet. Probably should have over the years, because I've been collecting. I've had a Manko card for years and years. But I think it's a game, and they cut them up. So these are hand-cut cards. But this card in particular is 1958 Shigeo Nagashima rookie card. And the example is stunning. Now, I'm taking to all my collection. Every card I get in my collection, I want to have the eye appeal that I love. I don't care if there's one copy in the world. If the copy is crinkled up and wrinkled and looks like crap, I don't want it in my collection. I mean, I'll take it if it's given to me, but I don't want it in my collection. That's not how my collection is going to be focused on. My collection is focused on a card that I think is beautiful. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to give and take wrinkles and creases on older stuff. I'm just talking about cards that are cut in half, cards that are missing corners. It's just not my thing. If it's yours, that's awesome. But for me, I'm going for the greatest eye appeal I can get. And I'm going to stick with it. I just won't own the card if I can't find a nice one. And this is a rookie card of Shigeo. Insane example. I have 5 rookie cards of his now, because I buy them, I've bought quite a few on eBay, ungraded. And then to have this one from Robert, I think this is definitely my favorite one, my favorite rookie of his. Dude, I mean, I just can't believe that you can get a rookie like this from this set for the price that I paid for these. And this one is another rare card. Probably less than 6, I'd say. Maybe even less than that. I had notes on here, but I took them off because I took the sleeves off. I'm going to display this again with my Babe Ruth. This is going right next to my Babe Ruth 4-in-1. This is a 1960 JBR4 Doyusha. Yeah, Sadahara O. It's a 4-in-1, color 4-in-1, hand cut. Absolute beautiful baseball card. He had 2 of these. One was a higher grade. I looked at it, but instantly I was attracted to this one, but then I saw there is a crease on it. You probably can't see in, very hard to see. And even the guys that were with me, Jason was there, Reindeer was there, a few others. Obviously, this is the copy I was going for. But I even asked them, just if they're there, double check, make sure my eyes are right. This is insane. So I definitely got hit by the rarity bug, but it wasn't on purpose. It wasn't me like, oh, I want a super rare O card. No, they just happen to be rare, the cards I'm picking up. They just happen to be the ones that I'm attracted to, the ones that I love. Because there's photograph ones that I have one that I purchased. It's on my wall, part of the $1,000. It's over here. It's a combo card. I knew it wasn't rare, and I stay away from the photograph ones. Like, I mean, these are photographs, but more like, I'll just have to show it to explain what I'm talking about. But the photograph ones, they're from the 70s. You can still get them unopened in packs. Not crazy rare. So I am more attracted to the older style, the Mancos, things like this. The gum companies that come, they're already cut. I'd rather not have a hand cut card. But if a hand cut card comes, I want it to look like this. And like this. So I got those. Freaking insane. Could be my favorite purchases of my entire life right there. And then I also got a ticket that instantly I go, yeah, of course it's coming home with me. Are you kidding me? I got a ticket from Sadahara O's very first game he ever played. Now, as Robert was telling me, he subbed in at first base. He did not bat during this game, but this is his very first game he ever played. Sadahara O, the home run champion of the world. This is his first game he ever played. Ticket stub, $40. It was just part of the deal, so whatever I ended up paying for this was cheap. I mean, $40, dude, it's like, I don't even understand how I could get a piece this insanely cool and for that price. Blew my freaking mind. And yes, I'm going to send this to PSA, have it slabbed up. It is definitely authentic, but just to have it slabbed up so it's in my collection, yeah, I like that. And then I'm going to display it on my wall. Call me crazy, but that's just how I'm going to do it. And I bought a few other things from him after, but I'm going to share those in a future episode. So with that said, let me see what else. And I got so many more gifts from people, but I'm going to share them as I share things as I go. So yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to share with you guys tonight. That's what I got for you guys tonight. I hope you had fun. John, absolutely mind-blowing that I have a card from your collection, and that card, an iconic Schmidt rookie. Insane. Robert, thank you so much for those incredible gifts and for teaching me about Japanese baseball and the cards, and for being trustworthy and selling me cards at a fair price. I can't thank you enough. What are you buying from you continuously? I literally feel like any money I spend on another card that isn't an O card or Shigeo I'm wasting my money. Of course I'm going to buy other cards, but I literally feel like that at this point, because these cards are insanely rare, and yet they're insanely cheap on an aspect of the rarity scale. And to have those guys of the greats from Japan, and to see how good Japan baseball is now. They beat us, I think, 2 years in a row in World Series Baseball Classic, at least one, with superstars on USA team, not slouches. Incredible. I think these cards are so undervalued, and this isn't a pump and dump scheme. This is just me telling you my collecting brain and how I go about collecting. And right now, I'm so focused on hunting down O cards and Shigeo cards. I can't think of anything else. I have other purchases that I already made when I got back from eBay from other dealers of Japanese cards, and I'm going to continue to collect them, and it's growing. I have a collection on the wall that I've had in the past, and it's going to grow. I can't wait. So stay tuned on my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Be inspired. Don't be influenced. Collect how you like to collect. And when I tell you how I'm doing it and my thoughts, they're my thoughts and my opinions. They're not always right. And you need to make up your own decision in your head. Okay? Shaka.